probably fastest growing and youngest upcoming leaders in our team WSB. Right? It could be in her gene and her blood, but I heard that she's really one of the new young leaders, really working hard. So please help me welcome EVC WSB, Alicia Nguyen.
Good morning. First and foremost, I'd just like to ask that John Woo, you never talk about my dad like that again when his children are present. It's a little awkward, just a little bit. But good morning, WSB. And oh, one more clarification, just wanted to say about the workshop. I do love the blue flip chart too, and I do use it as well. Okay? But I love the blue, I'm just in love with the red. Does that make sense? So, anyway, I'm up here to be able to share with you, I guess I've been coined as the fastest EVC in the history of the company. Become an EVC within 3 years of my AMA date. Exactly a year ago, 12 months ago, at the Santa Clara Convention Center, when I was up on stage, a lot of you remember, you were here, that my newest promotion was just a green jacket promotion. And I was an SMD at that time. And after February, or end of February that month, I also hit EMD. And 2 months later, I became a CEO in May. And end of November, we became an EVC team. I'm definitely not the only one. I don't want to forget that, Arlex was also an SMD 12 months ago as well. So, and many people in the room have gotten many promotions in the last 12 months. But to talk about, for any of you that are sitting in the room and you are, whether you're probably 12 months in the business, how can you, that's why I told my team, these 3 days can change your life. It can change your business if you decide it to be. I walk into every single convention beforehand knowing that after I go home, it's time to go to work. I don't walk out of a convention, go home and say, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. We haven't slept, we haven't had good food. Let me take a small break before I start again. And that's why most people go from convention to convention with either the same amount of people or even less. Because you think you deserve a break after you've accomplished successfully to bring 10 people or 30 people here, or now you hit your MD promotion, you hit your SMD promotion. One thing I learned from Vivian Alero when I became an MD, she told me, the minute I got promoted to MD, she told me, Alicia, don't stop. The #1 failure of people is because people stop after they get promoted. You think you work so hard, you deserve a break. You want to go back to your family, hang out with your kids a little bit. And that's why many MDs take so long to get to SMD. And did you know that 2% of SMDs, only 2% ever become an EMD or an above? Because many of you think that you got the final contract, you got a permanent contract, that you've arrived in WFG or WSB. That's just supposed to be your beginning of your building block, to do something big, to become somebody, to be a part of this team and build a new industry. I've been sitting here the last 3 days looking at the 4 signs behind me. about simple, clear, fast, and doable. And I keep looking at the word fast because I know that we have been the fastest EVC team in the whole WFG. And I keep analyzing those 4 words and the pictures back there. And I know many people that are actually simple and very clear, and I learned from those people. Those people took me out to field training. That's how I was able to become duplicated. So I see many people are able to be simple, they're able to be clear, they're also able to be doable, but for some reason, they don't have the sense of urgency to be fast. Many of you sitting here, you know how to do drop-by, stop-by. You know how to do the presentation. You know how to do the flip chart. You know how to close, but you just choose not to be fast about it. You want to take your time because you have kids, or you have work, or you have your job. You want to put everything else first. I didn't join WFG and plan to become the fastest EVC. It wasn't in my top 10 reasons or in my goals or anything like that. But very quickly, in the first few months, I started to realize, or I started to think to myself, even though I didn't plan it, but just why not? I said, why don't I just try for it? And if I don't hit it, at least I'll still become an EVC or CEO. But I can try to become the fastest. And if I make it, more power to me. But if I don't, at the end of the day, I still become a CEO or EVC. So I tried. And you know what I realized? Why I referenced those 4 words back there? It's because in order to be fast, you need to be simple, clear, and doable. Remember, just because you're simple, clear, and doable doesn't mean you're fast. But if you want to be fast, you need to be the other 3. If you are complicated, you are not duplicatable, you think too much, you explain too much, you try to find so much reasoning, you doubt too much, there's no way you can be fast. And I want to tell you, I know I've come up here many times and talked about, that I'm the same, just as you, no financial background, nothing, but the only difference between me and you, I know that the only difference between me and somebody that starts today is the belief. Because nobody can tell me that my whole life that I grew up here in the United States, that it was all based on a pyramid scheme or on a multi-level network marketing or that insurance thingy. So that's why from day one, I don't have to question, is it a real company? I don't have to Google, I don't have to Yelp, I don't need to do any of those things. Because I grew up, every single convention, I'm right here. I grew up in every single Las Vegas convention, every WSB convention, every Hawaii trip, I was there as a family member. So when I decided to start, I already know that it works, I already know that people can be successful, and I know that you don't have to stay as long as 28 years like Swan to be able to become somebody. I know people can be here for 1-2 years and be somebody. I know that people can not speak English and be somebody. I know that people they don't have to be educated, they can be somebody. Or they can be highly educated and be somebody. They could be older and be somebody, they could be younger and be somebody. So the only thing that separates me and you, hopefully at this convention, we are on the same level, that the only thing that differentiates is the belief. And once you believe, not only you believe into yourself, but you believe into the system, then anything is possible. And let me show you what belief looks like. Can I have all of my MDs and above come up to the stage, please, and hurry. Run. remember, my stuff has only been coded, well, it's now 3.5 years, September 2010. If you've been here with me for 3 years, can you raise your hand? 3 years. If you've been here with me for 2 years, since 2012, raise your hand. And who all of you that joined and got promoted within the year of 2013? This team has been through many phases, from a really unmotivated base shop meeting to no recruiting and more sales. Then we said, why don't you recruit? And then they recruit only and no more sale. And then finally we fixed that and we fixed the fast start issue, and then we had a licensing. Some people cannot pass both, want to do life only. And then we fixed that. And then we've been through, and meeting is, a continuing, ongoing process. We've been through many phases. Just one thing I learned is that learn faster, that's all. I'm not the type, even when we became an EVC team, I talked to them about getting more people to the meeting. How come we are growing, but yet people are not showing up in the office? And I can tell the look on their faces. Why are you so upset? What are you complaining about? We are the fastest EVC team in the company. And I said to them, I know, and I'm proud of you, that's great. But I never think that a team has arrived. I know that we can always have something to improve on. We always can be better. And so while I'm not gonna wait until our numbers die down or until we slow down, that I will change. I recognize whatever, and it's not really an issue, but I just recognize what we need to improve on so we can become a better team. I don't just drive what we're already good at. When they're good at it, then no problem. That means they've learned from it and they can continue to do it. But, the one great thing about A Team is that basically I gave a talk in the CEO meeting that the biggest builder in the company will be the person that has the least amount of people problems. And what I mean by that is this team right here, including myself as a leader, we may not always like each other, but we love each other. Which means that just like your siblings, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, even your parents, I love my mom and dad. I love Swan, but I don't always like him. When he tell me, how come you're not here earlier? How come you're not dressed sharper? How come you're not more of this, more of that? Sometimes I'm like, have I not done enough already? So sometimes I don't always like him, but at the end of the day, I love him. Same thing with me and them and within each other. They might not always like each other or they may not always like me, but at the end of the day, we know that we are one team, we are a team, and we love each other. They accept each other for who they are, what they're good at, and what they're not so good at. If we know somebody in the team is not always punctual, then we know that whoever is the most punctual step up to help the other person out. We know somebody's a better producer rather than a recruiter, then that person match up with the recruiter and vice versa. We use each other's strengths and weaknesses to become better, not just complain about each other. And also, when our team grows, and if there so happens to be one person grow, they don't get jealous with each other. They encourage each other. Nobody gets left behind. And that's what I want to be able to share with all of you is that I think some people mentioned in the last few days that a lot of time you feel scared to recruit, you feel scared to fast start because you don't want to deal with the people problem. You keep getting worried about the new person, that they're going to say things to you, they're going to reject you, or whatever that is. So you'd rather go sell, or you just want to wait until you can find that right person. A lot of them are not the right people, and there's nothing, to be honest, and nothing special about them more than you. The people standing up here, they are car salesmen, people are unemployed, they are nurse, but they just learn to be able to work together as a team. And one thing I love about A-Team is that when we set a goal, we make sure we deliver. Everybody steps up to the plate. Everyone uses each other's strengths to make the team rise. And one of the reasons why, to be honest, we want to be that leading team in WSB and also in WFG. However, we do recognize that without all of you, we cannot be where we are today. This is a very young team, and as much as they learn from me, but more importantly, they actually learn from each and every one of you. All I do is I just make sure every single meeting, I have more people to that event so that they can learn from you, because I know I don't know everything. And so that's why every single convention, every single trip, every single boot camp, I always make sure I have a little bit more. If you don't always monitor that, that's why you never grow. You make sure from convention to convention, you have more people. You make sure from BPM to BPM, you have more people. You make sure from boot camp to boot camp, or Super Saturday to Super Saturday, or those are all meetings, no matter what location they're at. You make sure you have more people there. That's the system. Because you can be so smart, you can do all the presentations, you can know everything about all the products, but if you don't have people behind you, you're not going to get anywhere. And one of the reasons why we want to be the fastest and continue to have that title is because of the fact that we want to show not only to you, but also to the entire World Financial Group, the power of the system, the power of this room right here, the power of 3-3-30, the power of 5-5, the power of full-time mentality, the 4 mentality, meeting mentality, all of that. We want to show the power of green machine. But we don't want to do it alone. We want to do it with you. Because as much as I love my team, but at the same time, we are better when we're bigger in numbers. An A-Team right now is about 480, but 10,000 would be much, much better. And this is what I tell my team, and I'm going to say the same message to you. I tell them the reason why we need to step up is because we need to show everybody that WSB works, because even till today, that's why I say to new people, even till today, people still doubt in Swan Nguyen. You can be the biggest guy in the company, but people still don't believe in 3-3-30 or in meeting mentality or in trips. But that's why we need to grow, and we need to do it fast, so that we can prove to people that the hard work of the last 29 years that he's put into this, that it's proven. And again, I don't want to do it with just A-Team. I want to do it with all of you. As a WSB, as a team of 10,000, let's walk into Las Vegas convention, like Alex Chen said, with 20,000 people. Don't let anybody else have seats. Let's walk in with 50 CEOs, thousands of SMDs, and multiple thousands of SMDs, and make history and bring thousands of people to Hawaii. Only we can do that as WSB. Do you know what building a new industry means? Building a new industry means that it doesn't matter what background you come from, what experience you have, what color you are, what job you had before, what education. It doesn't matter. That as long as you have the desire to win, you can do it. You can make it. You can be somebody. So it doesn't matter what hierarchy you're from inside WSB. At the end of the day, you may have different sections here, but we're all green. We're all WSB, and we're all here for one thing. So every time, you know what? And you also, to be honest, you do owe it to me too. Because I've watched my dad put in 28 years, 29 years of his life, my whole childhood. A lot of time taken away from me for you. A lot of taking time away from my recitals, my basketball games, my school functions to be here for you. That's why I need all of your help to step up with me to show that the hard work, all those years that he missed with me and my brothers was worth it. To make all of you successful and financially independent so you can quit your job and do the same thing for your family just like he did for me. So stop wasting your time not believing. Stop wasting your time slowing down and make a difference for your family and for people out there. A-Team will have minimum 2 CEOs this year, Neil Weigel and Joanne de las Peñas. And this is just the beginning for A-Team. We are here to make history. You watch us in 2014. Thank you very much.